Hola chicos, voy a hacer un video muy corto para terminar este tema de gramática. I got cut off before because it looks like my video recorder only allows me to do 15 minutes and this video was just slightly over 15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to finish the last two portions. A lot of times when we're working with object pronouns, students ask me what the a mí, a ti, a Elena, a nosotros refers to. This is called a prepositional pronoun. The object pronoun can be repeated for emphasis and clarification by using the construction a plus a prepositional pronoun. So below I have an example where there's kind of an ambiguous question. If you didn't know the content of who se or lo is referring to, you could ask for clarification. ¿A quién se lo dieron? Se lo dieron a ella. So they're kind of wondering who did they give it to? They gave it to her. Okay, so now we know. It was a ella. And so we use this to clarify or emphasize something. So for example, with like le gusta and things like that, we say a mí me gusta to emphasize. We say a Elena le gusta oftentimes to either emphasize or to clarify that the le in le gusta is referring to Elena. So it can be used for either one. And just a random subnote is when me, ti, or si are used with con, they change to conmigo, contigo, and consigo. You guys have probably heard conmigo quite a bit, but just a reminder, you can also do it with ti and si for the la usted form. ¿Quieres ir conmigo al parque de atracciones? Okay. And so that is actually all for this grammar topic. We're just going to go through the practice now. Okay, entonces aquí tengo práctica muy básica con los pronombres del complemento directo o indirecto. Entonces, para cada frase, primero, después de leerla, decide si la palabra subrayada es un objeto directo o indirecto. So think to yourself, is it answering the question, what? What is being bought? Or to who or for whom is it being bought would be the indirect object. Segundo, cambia las frases a una frase con el pronombre del complemento indirecto, directo o indirecto correcto. So then you're going to remove the underlined portion and replace it with a pronoun. So let's do number one together. And I'll kind of walk you guys through my thought process while I do these. And then as you guys get better at them, you won't have to think through all these steps, but this is a great way to think about it while you're learning. Yo compré los boletos. I bought the tickets. So here we have, I bought what? I bought the tickets. To who or for whom did I buy the tickets? We don't know that piece of information, so we don't need to do an indirect object pronoun. We'll do a direct object pronoun. So los boletos would change to los. And remember, since there is one verb here, we have one option for where to put the pronoun, and that will be in front. Okay, so we have los compré. All right. Entonces ahora, chicos, tomen algunos minutos para trabajar con la práctica y después voy a repasar las respuestas para ustedes. Okay, so pause the video, work through the practice, and then we'll go over it. Hasta muy pronto. Bueno, chicos, voy a repasar las respuestas. Número 2, el árbitro explica las reglas a los deportistas. The ref explains the rules to the players. So here we have the what, they explain the rules, and the to or for whom to the players. But since the underlined portion, which is the one that we want to modify to make the sentence simpler or to not repeat it a ton of times, we'll change a los deportistas. So here, since it says to the athletes, we know that this is going to be an IOP. Las reglas would be a DOP, but we're not going to replace it here. So here we have one verb, explica. So we have one option for where to put the indirect object pronoun in front. So for a los deportistas, the indirect object pronoun will be les. El árbitro les explica las reglas. So the ref explains the rules to them, referring to the athletes. Next, el equipo va a ganar el campeonato. The team is going to win the championship. Okay, what are they going to win? The championship. So here we're going to change el campeonato to a direct object pronoun, which will be lo. But where do we put it? We actually have two verbs in this sentence, va and ganar. So we can either put it in front of the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive verb. So I have both options here. El equipo lo va a ganar. El equipo va a ganarlo. Just a reminder, the distinction between these translations is pretty much identical. Número 4. Quiero ver la obra de teatro mañana. I want to see the play tomorrow. What do you want to see? The play. To or for whom do you want to see the play? That is not applicable in the sentence. So we're going to be changing la obra de teatro to a direct object pronoun, which will be la. Now where do we put it? Quiero ver. We have two verbs. We can either go in front of the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive ver. La quiero ver mañana. Quiero verla mañana. I want to see it tomorrow. Okay. Mi mamá da las entradas a nosotros. My mother gives the tickets to us. So what is she giving? The tickets. To whom is she giving them to? To us. So here we actually have both. But we are only going to modify the us portion here to simplify it. Because we still maybe want the context of what is being given, the tickets. So this is going to be a indirect object pronoun, nos, and we have one verb, so we're going to put it in front. Mi mamá nos da las entradas. And finally, my last example has two. A little sneaky there. I do want you to change both. Mi tía dio muchos juegos de mesa a mi primo. My aunt gave a lot of board games to my cousin. What did she give? Board games. To whom? To my cousin. So here, let's work through the steps. We have a DOP, the what did she give, and the IOP, to whom. So the IOP will change to le, because it's third person, singular. The muchos juegos de mesa will change to los. So right now we have le and los that we're working with. The IOP goes first, le. The DOP goes second, los. But remember, we can't le-lo or we can't les-lo. We have to se-lo. So we will put both pronouns in front of the one verb, and we need to modify it slightly. So here we have mi tía se los dio. She gave them to him, is the way that translates. So we don't really have a lot of context there. If that sentence was by itself, it wouldn't be super clear what she gave or who. But since maybe we were already talking about the board games, or we were already talking about your cousin or their cousin, that's why we can write a sentence like this. Ok, muy bien, chicos. Entonces, este es todo lo que vamos a hacer para este tema de gramática. Ahora ustedes tienen algunas actividades de práctica y una hoja de ejercicios. Si hay algunas preguntas, pueden hablar conmigo, pero hasta luego.